Welcome to Physics 151. This is a video tour of your course. This semester we will be studying mechanics, that is, motion and forces and energy. When you open up your course in Moodle, you will see a description and the course objectives. You will also see something called the course map. The course map can be downloaded for your convenience. Basically, it is a tool for you to see exactly how the module objectives support the course objectives and how each assignment that you complete supports the module objectives. Because ultimately, we want you to be able to demonstrate certain tasks and skill sets which are defined in the course objectives. As you go through the beginning of the course, notice that at the beginning of the course you have the announcements page. I will post announcements every week regarding updates on grading and any issues or celebrations that we need to note. There is also a forum called Course Questions, which allows you to post questions about content or navigation. Please send me a personal email if you have questions about grades. There's a link to our online Zoom office hours, which will be Mondays from 9 to 10 a.m. or by appointment. There's also a link to the Smart Thinking online tutoring. In order to get started, you will want to open and go through each section of the orientation. So there are 11 pages to that, and you want to make sure that you read that very carefully. You also want to download the syllabus. You want to create an account with OpenStax, with OpenStax Tutor, and with Pivot Interactives. Information about how to log in and how much these costs are provided in the syllabus and in the orientation. Once you have done that, to officially enroll, you will need to complete the enrollment assignment quiz, which asks questions specific to the syllabus and to the course policies. You can take this multiple times so that you get the highest scores you want. It's counted as a lab grade. Once you have done that, then you'll be able to see the rest of the modules. There are 7 modules and an exam review module and the final exam module. Every module has a very consistent structure. First, you'll see a description. Then you will see the module objectives, and beside the module objectives are the numbers of the course objectives that they support. So if you accomplish module objective 2.1, then you will have supported and be on your way to satisfying course objective 1, 3, 4, and 6. You have a module overview, which tells you the things to practice and to study. And then you have a list of the graded assignments. You will always have 3 graded assignments. A couple of modules have 4 graded assignments. But basically you'll have some kind of homework, either a worksheet. There are 4 worksheets in this course, or a homework set called a self-check in OpenStax Tutor. You will have some kind of physics forum to participate in, and you will have some kind of intro, some kind of lab. So let's look and see what those types of assignments look like. So if you look at Module 2, you will see that in Module 2 you have a worksheet. This worksheet needs to be downloaded. You need to complete it, showing all the work in units. And then if you have questions about how it's going to be graded, I have a rubric here that you can look at. Each problem is worth 5 points. There's 6 problems on it, so it's a 30-point worksheet. Then you have Physics Forum 2 and 4 of the forums require you to go into the Pivot Interactives, which is our online lab resource, and you will actually complete a lab. And it's important for you to note that discussion forums should have 2 due dates. There's an initial post, and then there's the final due date, which is the due date of the module. So Module 2 is due on June 15th. The initial post for Physics Forum 2 is by June 12th, and you will need to have completed the module tool discussion activity with a 70 or higher so that you can get credit on the rubric for that by the initial due date post, because the initial post is relative to that activity. You have to do the activity in order to make the post. And they both have to be done by the initial post due date, which is 6/12. You will need to reply constructively to 2 classmates on 2 other days. So I'm looking for 3 separate posts. And if you look at the discussion forum rubric, you will see that in order to get 100, you will need to have completed your pivot interaction with a 70 or higher by the initial due date. You will need to have satisfied all the requirements for the initial post by the due date. You need to reply to classmate 1 constructively by providing a web page or showing how you would calculate this, or if you say that you got the same calculation, you need to show your calculation. You need to apply to another classmate in the same manner, and then your participation is that you have posted on 3 separate days. So these are all the criteria that you need to meet to have 100. If you do not meet all those criteria in each section, then you can make a 70 or a 40 or a 0. So those are the 3 scores that you can make in discussion: 100, a 70, a 40, or a 0. Also, you have a lab to do, which is also done in Pivot. Every lab has an introduction video to it that explains how to complete it. So I suggest that you watch the video and then you do the lab. I'm looking for your labs to show all your work and all your units and to use complete sentences. If you do not show me how you made your calculations, I cannot give you credit or give you even partial credit if you got it wrong. But you show me the work, I can give you partial credit. So there are 7 modules, and Module 7 and the exam review module are both due on the 18th. And that means that you'll need to plan wisely. When you start getting to July, I would start working ahead so that you don't feel overwhelmed at the end. That'll give me time to give you the answer sheet to the exam review, and then the last day of class is the 20th, and your exam will be open all day that day. It will be online. It will not be video proctored. All right, so that's basically how the course is structured, and if you have any questions, please email me. I would be glad to respond.